This week in censorship, Msnbc host Mika Brzezinski called on Twitter to ban President Trump because he's been picking on her co-host and husband, Joe Scarborough.
To do this just because you're mad at Joe because Joe got you again today? Because he speaks the truth? And that you won't even wear a mask to protect people from your germs. But the germs you're spreading on Twitter, first of all, Twitter, you shouldn't be allowing this. And you should be taking these tweets down. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You'll be hearing from me on this, because this is BS.
Then, after her morning griping, she did what all liberals do and took to Twitter to keep complaining. Tweeting to CEO Jack Dorsey, "At what point is Twitter a part of this? Take down Trump's account. The world will be safer." Adding the most annoying thing you could possibly say on Twitter, "Retweet if you agree." Later, she issued an update that a call is being set up with Jack Dorsey and said she would keep us posted.
He's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah. Then, just 1 hour later, Twitter announced that they were activating a new feature on select users' accounts, a feature that I told you someday they would, where they can turn off the replies to their tweets. This way, when CNN posts garbage like Chris Cuomo complaining that President Trump won't wear a mask during his press conferences, users won't be able to point out that Fredo's brother, the governor of New York, doesn't wear one either. Twitter then demonstrated the usefulness of putting out only one side of the story while stifling any dissent by tweeting, quote, "Reply if there's a better app." But, of course, the replies were disabled. If you click on the reply button, now you get a notice that says who can reply. Twitter chooses only to let people they mention in the original tweet reply. In other censorship news, YouTube continues to take down videos of doctors who dare give a second opinion to what the World Health Organization is saying or what Dr. Fauci thinks. Dr. Newt Witkowski, the former head of epidemiology at Rockefeller University, dared to suggest that maybe it's time to start opening the country, and he's gone.
You're a thought criminal.
All 50 states are now beginning to reopen, but apparently I'm not allowed to say that, otherwise my video may get taken down. The boomers in Congress still haven't called Susan Wojcicki to testify in front of any committees, even though, you may recall, Senator Rand Paul's own video was taken down because he dared mention the name that shall not be named. And let's not forget they're also censoring potential medical advancements like the heel light demonstration video. That's still gone. But since China's the hot topic right now, Senator Josh Hawley is calling on TikTok's CEO to come and testify, while continuing to completely ignore what's going on YouTube. My, how soon people forget all the information that's been dumped down the memory hole. You know, when I keep hearing that YouTube and Facebook are working overtime trying to keep certain videos off the platform, like that interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, it just makes me want to go and watch them to see what all the fuss is about. Maybe some of these doctors are wrong, maybe some of them are crazy, but they have a right to be heard, and we have a right to listen to them and make up our own minds. Conspiracy theorist David Icke, and I usually don't call people that, but in his case it's fully warranted, was completely banned from YouTube for some of his coronavirus theories. I personally think David Icke is a lunatic who thinks that the 1980s miniseries V was a documentary, but I still think he should have a right to be on YouTube.
So, I mentioned these bloodlines. Human, archontic, human, reptilian hybrids.
And CEO Susan Wojcicki admits that nobody likes them artificially boosting mainstream media to the top search results and filling the up next column with them, but they're gonna still do it anyway. In a recent interview with the New York Times podcast The Rabbit Hole, she admitted that users don't want to actually see it.
The users don't want to actually see it. And so what do you do as a platform? Do you show it to them anyway? And so that's actually, I remember that very clearly because that was the first time I said to them, you know, it doesn't matter. We have a responsibility.
And in case you missed it, the liberal rag The Atlantic said that the United States tech companies should do exactly what China's been doing in order to control what people say online. Quote, in the great debate over the past 2 decades about freedom versus control of the network, meaning the internet, China was largely right and the United States was largely wrong. Significant monitoring and speech controls are inevitable components of a mature and flourishing internet, and governments must play a large role in these practices to ensure that the internet is compatible with a society's norms and values. Yes, Silicon Valley's values like Drag Queen Story Hour. I'm actually surprised Amazon hasn't banned Dr. Judy Mikovits's book yet, especially since it's climbed to the top of the bestseller list with all the controversy over YouTube and Facebook pulling her interviews. For about the last 2 years, Amazon has been quietly banning certain books. I would mention which ones, but the fake news will take this soundbite out of context and claim that I'm endorsing them. I do mention them and detail what happened in my new book, The Liberal Media Industrial Complex, which I encourage you to read while you can. And now, a left-wing activist group ironically called the Free Press is petitioning the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, to stop carrying President Trump's press conferences. There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that if President Trump happens to lose the election, which is less than 6 months away, he will be completely banned from Twitter. Gone. Because they will not want him to be able to weigh in on current events or the next administration. That's why it's up to us to get him reelected so in his second term he can relax and really let loose. And to help spread the word, I'm re-releasing my limited edition shiny foil Trump shirts like this MAGA country shirt. As you can see, this is not an ordinary shirt. It uses a special reflective paint which looks absolutely stunning in the light. So get your reflective MAGA country shirt, your silver silhouette shirt, or your gold Trump 2020 shirt from my online store, markdice.com, or click the link in the description below. And just a heads up, these shirts will not ship until I get all the orders in, and I'm going to cut that off May 31st at the end of the month. Then they're all going to be printed and shipped out. And like all of my designs, they're available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.